Hey everybody, welcome to the first installment of GenLando 327 Talks. In this case, it's going to be talking about things for the channel in my Wednesday slot. You may have noticed the discussion on my page. Apparently, that only shows up if you're on a PC or a Mac, non-mobile device. So I decided I needed to make a video so that I could talk about these things so that I could get feedback. So this is basically going to repeat everything that was in the discussion that I put up. So if you saw that, I haven't gotten any comments back on it, so most of you probably haven't seen it, or you just didn't have an opinion. That's perfectly fine, but I just wanted to do some face-to-face. Also, this is your first chance to see me on camera. Yay! So after I finished with Kingdom Hearts in my Wednesday slot, I decided to play the Persona games because I had been watching Persona 5 that Final Fantasy Peasant was playing on his channel, and I was really impressed with it, so I went and got myself Persona 3 FES because I didn't have Vita TV at that point. So I started playing that on the channel. Was getting a little frustrated with it, so I actually, in the meantime, I bought a Vita TV, so I started playing P4 Golden, and if you've been watching that, then you know that I got a little frustrated with that for much the same reasons. So I don't think Persona is probably the best thing for me to play as a pre-recorded episodes on my channel. For one thing, I just don't know the game well enough. Maybe someday when I've finished the game, I might come back and play them on my channel. Or I might end up doing them as live streams. More on that in a bit. So I'm going to stop playing the Persona games for now. So that means I have a slot free, and I'm not real sure what I want to put there. I want to get some feedback. That's what this video is all about. I have some top picks that I've been considering to put in my Wednesday slot. So I have some limitations. First off, they need to be RPGs. Not necessarily JRPGs, although I think they tend to lend better to what I'm trying to do on the channel. I'm not going to be playing COD or Dota or any of those kinds of things on my channel ever. I haven't entirely ruled out playing Destiny/Destiny 2 content, but at this point, I'm not sure it's really worth going back to. We'll see what happens with the next expansion for Destiny 2, but it's not a top on my list anywhere. The other content I'm considering making sometime in the future is Warframe content, because I'm massively enjoying that game. So I actually might do that sometime, but it won't be as a weekly installment thing, unless it's like live stream play. So that's not going to be in that slot. Also, I'm not going to play other Final Fantasy or Tales main series installments in my Wednesday slot because I'm going to keep those series going. I'm going to keep a Final Fantasy game, a Tales game, always going on my channel. So then that leaves questions as to what I can actually play. I do have a PS3, a PS4. At this point, my PS4 is hooked up to my main TV in the main area of my apartment, and my PS3 is what I've been recording everything off of after I finished Kingdom Hearts, and I have that set up on my old TV in my room. So I'd really rather stick with PS3 content, but at the same time, there's a lot of PS4 games I've been considering. So the games I'm toying with are Witcher 3, which would be completely blind. I've played maybe the first half hour to an hour of the game. That's it. Dragon Age Inquisition, I'm maybe like a third of the way through the game on that, so most of that would be blind. And I haven't even explored most of the areas, so most of that will be blind. Fallout 4 is a possibility, but I don't think I want to do that in my main weekly slot because I think that lends more towards live stream content. So that's possible if I get a lot of requests for it, but not probably one of my top choices. Another possibility would be World of Final Fantasy, which is obviously not a main Final Fantasy installment. It would lend more closely to the Kingdom Hearts type of feel. So it's possible. And again, that would be mostly blind. I've played up through the first. There's Final Fantasy, like the original Final Fantasy content. That's the first world that you go to. I've played some of that content, but that's about as far as I've gotten in that game. So that's a possibility, but that's another one that I'm considering doing as a live stream if there's interest in it. I know World of Final Fantasy is a title that has not gotten a lot of respect from the community, and that's kind of what I've been doing on this channel, is things that are either unknown or, in my mind, underrated, underappreciated, overlooked. So that's a possibility, but I don't know the game well enough to defend it as a main installment of my series, so I probably won't do that either. So the other game that I didn't have on my list when I had this as a discussion tab, and the game that I'm currently leaning towards, seeing that the sequel is either just out or coming out very shortly, is Ni no Kuni. For one thing, that would be a title that I can play on my PlayStation 3 without having to redo my setup every time I wanted to record video for that game. That's not a deal breaker. Like I said, all the other games that I listed, contrary to what I put in my discussion tab, the copy that I have of The Witcher 3 is also PS4. So all of the other games that I listed would be PS4. But Ni no Kuni, I think maybe halfway through the game. I'm not even sure about that. So that would be partially blind, kind of blind, but not entirely. I'm very familiar with the system and the concepts and the style of the game. So that's probably what I'm leaning towards if I don't get feedback. That said, I would love to get some feedback on what you guys would like to see me play. Like I said, as long as we keep it to the RPG or JRPG genre, I'm pretty much up for anything that's on 360, Xbox 360 I have, but I so far haven't done any content. I suppose I could do the original Mass Effect trilogy, but maybe someday. I don't know. But I think that's kind of a dead horse at this point, even for the original trilogy as far as YouTube goes. So 360, PS3, PS4 are my options. Vita TV, so I guess anything that's on the PS3 store for PS Vita. So you got a lot of PS1, PS2 classics. Actually, I've got a couple things on there. I've got, what do I have on there right now that I was thinking about? I'll have to get back to you guys on that. I'll probably put a comment or something, or put it in the description of the video. I have a couple of games that are classics on there. That one of them is, I think, Breath of Fire 3 I have on there. And I have, what's the one with the name is eluding me, so I'll get back to you on that. But if you guys have a suggestion or have a vote as to one of the games that I've already listed, that would be awesome if you could put that in the comments. I would really appreciate the input. So the other side note I wanted to talk about was I have mentioned live streaming a couple of times, partially in this and also in some of my other videos on the channel. I have mentioned live streaming and the desire to do some live streaming and the fact that I just don't really have the know-how, etc., to do it properly, or the people to watch it. But at the same time, I know that in order to get a community going, live streaming is a huge help in that. So there are a few titles that I've thrown out there for options for live streaming titles, and those are a little bit broader than just the RPG genre. Partially because I think some of them lend really well to live stream type activities, like getting discussions going as to what we want to do next, etc., etc. Or they're just fun games that would be, I think, a blast to play with a whole bunch of people talking and, whatever in the background, and some interaction there. I really want to build a community for this channel, so that's I'm hoping to do a few more of these type of face-to-face videos. I know I'm not very polished. I know that the glasses are currently throwing off a glare, and I apologize for that. I honestly have no idea how to fix that. I have no technical expertise when it comes to these things. If you haven't watched my videos before now, then I'm not really sure why you're watching this, but I appreciate it. And obviously, I've mentioned multiple times in there that I really don't have the technical expertise for a lot of this. One of the reasons I haven't been doing much progression in going to do live streaming is that I really wanted to get a social media presence going before I could do that, partially because I want this to be an interactive thing. I want it to be something that everybody can enjoy. So I've been working on designing a Facebook and a Patreon and a Twitter and all of those types of social media pages, but it turns out I'm not very good at it. I really have no idea what to put on those pages to make them look interesting. So I know some of you that watch this channel that are my friends in real life have some technical expertise in that area or have previous experience. So when it comes to these kinds of things, I am open for any and all suggestions that could make my channel better, especially when it comes to technical aspects or social media. Anybody who has ideas, please feel free to put them in the comments, drop me a note on the discussion page, do something. I would greatly appreciate it. So back to live streaming, I got to get the ball rolling somehow. So I guess what I'm probably going to end up doing is put my social media pages live pretty soon. And hopefully I'll get some feedback here as to what you guys want to see me play on the live stream footage as well. The games that I have off the top of my head that I've been thinking about playing on the live stream, one is World of Final Fantasy. I've mentioned already Fallout or potentially Skyrim. I could do Fallout. Actually, I could do Skyrim, Oblivion. I can go as far back as Oblivion if people really want to see that. I'm not really sure if that's what people want to see, but I imagine it would probably be more likely to be Fallout 4 or Skyrim. I can go all the way back to Fallout 3. For some reason, my copy of Fallout New Vegas doesn't work well, but I think I might be able to get it to work on PC. So that might be a possibility as well. So the other games that I haven't talked about already are any of the Lego games. So I'm a big fan of the Lego series, just because of its wackiness, and it's a nice relaxing thing to do, and you know it's a collectathon, which I love. That's why I'm into Warframe, even though action's not really my thing either. So any of the Lego games are up for grabs. The only one that I don't currently own is the original Indiana Jones, and that's really not worth playing from my memory. So, you know, I guess if you really want to see it, I'll figure out a way to get it because I know it's available on the Vita PlayStation Store. So those are possibilities. The Dynasty Warriors probably would have to be Dynasty Warriors 8. I hear Dynasty Warriors 9 from the reviews that I'm getting is not really Dynasty Warriors anymore because they're trying to do this open world thing and it doesn't really fit the franchise. But I do have 8. It's a good game. I have at least 2 expansions to it. I have like the complete edition of the game, and then I have I think Empires is the one that made it more into an RTS type thing. So that is a possibility. I don't have much experience with the RTS end of it, but that would be fun to try. Again, Warframe, Prey, Injustice. I'm not very good at fighters, so Injustice is not really my thing, but I've been wanting to play it, and I could imagine that y'all would have fun making fun of me while I was playing it. Just so you're aware, on games like Warframe, Injustice, probably even Prey for that matter, those are not my forte. But I think they're games that would be fun to have just for the sake of reactions so that you can all laugh at me and, you know, make fun of me. I have absolutely no problem with that. I enjoy having laugh at my own displeasure. So that's a definite possibility. So those kinds of games are up for grabs. Those are my top ones off the top of my head. If I don't get any feedback as to what titles you want to see, it will probably be Fallout 4, because I think that lends itself very well to not only the type of games that I usually play, my familiarity with Fallout 4, and the fact that we can, you know, have the community feel of talking about whatever is going on in the background, as well as if we feel like doing something completely different on the fly, we can always switch it up. That's what I really would like to do with my live streams, is to have something that's kind of whatever we feel like doing on the fly, we can do. Switch things up on the go. If it ends up that we come to a certain day and people are watching the stream and it's just not going well, I can always just change games. Although I would prefer not to. I'd prefer to have a solid, whatever game we were playing for that episode. But whatever makes sense to people, that's going to be the slot that I do that in. As I've mentioned a few times on my channel, that will probably be weekend content. Once I get the social media pages up, I can schedule that out so that people are aware of it, and then send out Twitter reminders and, or not reminders, but Twitter alerts and notifications when I actually start a stream. So that's a definite possibility that I really want to do. So still not going to be COD. Sorry, not sorry. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to sit and talk for a little bit, give you guys some information on what I've been thinking about doing on my channel, where I'm at with the channel. It's not going anywhere. I'm going to keep producing content. If I don't get feedback, then I'm just going to keep producing content my way. And for those of you that like it, great. I appreciate you watching. For those of you that don't like it, well, you can still watch. And you can make fun of me. I don't really care. I just want feedback. I want us to get this community growing. I've been seeing that I've been getting a lot more views, so that's why I'm making this video, so that you guys know I see that, I am aware of it, I am very appreciative of it. Thank you all for watching my channel. Thank you all for watching this video. I know it's long and rambly, but that's kind of my style. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that. So, leave me some feedback. If you have any technical expertise in producing YouTube videos or getting rid of the stupid lens glare or anything like that, I would be more than appreciative. It would be very much grateful for any of the advice on that, or creating a social media presence for this. I would very much appreciate, and would be very, very grateful. But, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys want to see on my channel. I've got a slot open on Wednesdays. It's going to be a regular weekly thing. I've got a slot open for live streaming that I want to start. And that's not necessarily going to be the same content every time. So, throw me ideas. Thank you all for watching. Everybody have a great day.